When was the last time you thought you were the one controlling your cat? Was it when you gave her food? When you tried to teach her not to jump on the table? When you closed the door to your room? Or when you simply let her do whatever she wants? And now be honest. How many times this week did you get up, pause your work, or even change your plans just because that's what she wanted? Are you really sure that you chose to live with a cat and not that she chose you and quietly adjusted your schedule, your home, and even your mood to fit herself? In this video, you will see 3 ways you actually control your cat and 3 ways she makes you dependent on her. And yes, there are very specific explanations for all of this, from attachment and hormones to clever meows and your own habits. By the end of the video, you might get a strange feeling. Maybe this is not just a pet. Maybe this is a joint project where both of you are quietly rewiring each other's brains. Let's start where everything seems obvious. How you control your cat. Or, are you not completely sure you're actually the one in charge here? The first way, you control her world. From your cat's point of view, you are the god of resources. You decide where the food bowl stands, where the litter box is, where safe hiding spots and high places are, when the window opens and when the room becomes dark. For many cats, the human is a secure base. When they are near their person, they show less stress and explore their environment more confidently, which is exactly what attachment research between cats and humans suggests. Think about it. You literally set the coordinates of her universe. You control her access to food and water. You establish where it is safe to hide and where she can comfortably observe the world. You launch her daily routine, when it all happens, when the day starts and when it ends. And here's a question. If tomorrow you changed everything, moved the bowl, removed her high place, closed the window, who would be more shocked? You or her? From a philosophical point of view, a huge part of your cat's world is your architecture. You are like a mini creator of her space and her time. This is the first level of control. She literally lives inside a world you designed, even if you think you're just putting the bowl where it's convenient. But are you ready to admit that while you're building this world for her, you're also changing your own? The second way, you shape her behavior through attention and ignoring. People often say, "She doesn't listen to me, I don't control her." But let's ask a slightly uncomfortable question. What exactly are you reinforcing with your behavior every single day? If your cat screams at the door and you get up every time to open it, who are you really training, her or yourself? If your cat always gets food after a certain loud cry, are you sure that you're the one controlling feeding and not that she is pressing a button called you? Cats, just like humans, learn by one simple principle. Whatever works gets repeated. Positive reinforcement, attention, food, play, makes behavior stick. If you consistently respond only to calm signals, a quiet approach, a soft meow, gently sitting nearby, you strengthen that style of communication. If you always react only to drama and screaming, that's what you strengthen. So here's the question. What exactly are you teaching your cat right now, without even realizing it? Interestingly, the same principle works between people. We feed certain behaviors with our attention and dry out others by ignoring them. In this sense, when you train your cat, you're also training yourself. Your ability to consciously choose what you respond to and what you let pass. But do you really want to become a person whom the cat has trained to move only after a scandal? The third way, you regulate her hormones and her sense of safety. That sounds dramatic, but it's literally true. Studies show that when a cat who feels safe chooses to approach a person, rub against them, lie down next to them, and engage in contact, the level of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, rises in both the human and the cat. But the key word here is chooses. If you grab the cat when she doesn't want to be held, don't let her leave, ignore her signals, the effect can be the opposite. Instead of a bonding hormone, you get stress and a desire to avoid contact. In other words, you control not only the fact of contact, will there be contact or not, but also the quality of her inner experience. Will this be trust and calm, or anxiety and tension? You decide whether you become a living source of safety for her, or an unpredictable threat. So here's another question. Right now, is your cat choosing you as a source of comfort, or just tolerating you because she has no way to leave? Now let's flip the picture. We've seen 3 ways you control your cat. But how honest is it to say that all three of these levels are one-way streets? Let's look at 3 ways she makes you dependent in return. The first way, her voice and purring as a hack into your attention. There are studies showing that some cats use a special type of purr that has a subtle, pleading, almost baby-like cry embedded in it. Humans rate this sound as more urgent and less pleasant and respond to it much faster. They get up, feed, or open doors. It looks like she's just purring cutely. In reality, it's a targeted hit to some of the oldest layers of your brain, the ones that prioritize a baby's cry and distress signals. From a philosophical angle, this is beautiful. A small animal reaches into the very same neural systems that were designed to protect the most vulnerable: infants, the wounded, anyone in need of help. The cat becomes a little audio engineer who tuned your brain to her voice. So when you jump up at her nighttime meow, is that an act of your kindness or the result of a very successful acoustic key she found to your nervous system? The second way, she rewrites your routine and your space. Think about how many things in your home are already for the cat. Rearranged furniture, a free windowsill so she can watch outside, a separate blanket, a section of the bed that is her spot, a wake-up time shifted so she won't bother you at night. Have you ever caught yourself going to bed not when it suits you, but so that she doesn't disturb you later? This is more than cute compromises. This is how a new architecture of your day is built, taking into account her routes, her habits, her rhythms. And if the cat suddenly disappears, you feel not only emotional pain, but also a fracture in the structure of your everyday life. Mornings that are too quiet, an empty window, a strangely free pillow. So here's the question now. Do you live with a cat, or are you already living inside a world she helped you build? The third way, she influences your emotions and your decisions. Studies show that 10 to 15 minutes of calm contact with a cat, stroking, resting together, or just quiet presence, can raise oxytocin and reduce stress in humans. Cats with secure attachment get their own hormonal benefits as well. Over time, your brain learns a simple route: stress to go to the cat to feel better. The cat becomes a living exhale button, an embedded mechanism for emotional regulation. That sounds sweet, and it often is. But here's another uncomfortable question. What happens if this button is suddenly taken away? How free are your decisions if, in moments of anxiety, you automatically look for the cat? Where's the line between healthy support and soft dependence? On top of that, scientists discuss other darker influences. For example, the parasite toxoplasma, associated with cats, which some research links to changes in risk-taking and behavior in humans. It's not a reason to panic, but it is a reason to admit the human-cat link goes much deeper than a cozy pet in the house. So let's honestly sum up everything you've just heard. You control your cat's world, her food, her space, her rules, and even her hormones when you give her the freedom to choose closeness. You set her home map and schedule. You decide what to reinforce and what to ignore. She controls your hearing and your attention with her voice, your schedule with her rituals, your physical space with her paths, and your stress with her ability to instantly change your state. So who is really controlling whom? Maybe the question, who is the boss here, is the wrong one. It's much more honest to admit both of you are built in a way that you need each other. Science can describe this as attachment, hormones, and behavior. But if you look through the eyes of faith, this is not an accident. The Creator placed in both humans and animals the capacity for mutual attachment and comfort, that mysterious bond where one small tail becomes an instrument of care for a human heart. And here's the final question for you. If your cat suddenly disappeared from your life tomorrow, would you simply lose a pet or a piece of the way the Creator has been comforting and shaping you? If you want to dig deeper into what else your cat is doing to your mind, your character, and your choices, hit subscribe. In the next videos, we'll explore which traits she amplifies in you and why it sometimes feels like she's quietly rewriting your life script.